Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to YSN Live. DJ Yokley here. Anthony is on vacation, enjoying himself. And if you're a friend of him on social media, you've seen that he's had one whale of a vacation. Being able to jump into the Royals broadcast booth. Lifelong dream, I'm sure. He gets to check that off the old bucket list. But, hey, the beat goes on. And here in this particular region that we love sports so much, we got to keep on keeping on, I guess, is the old Matthew McConaughey. So I guess one of the biggest things everybody likes hearing from a guy who we're going to have on this show today, fingers crossed, hopefully, told me he was good. Obviously, this time of year, it is crunch time. So we're sure that the head ball coach, the old ball coach, as we call him here on YSN, Andy Hake, will be joining us here shortly. We, in the meantime, have some interviews from the other night at Giangelo's for the South Range Raiders show that we're going to bring to you. Donnie Farron and TJ Irons. Farron, the AD, athletic director for South Range, with a lot of stuff going on and a lot of fodder, I guess, is the best way to put it, out there for the Raiders year. We had some questions for him. And then Coach Irons, who starts his season here in just a few days. He's been able to kind of jump back on the horse, and he's got a team that is expected to do very well this year. So without further ado, as we wait for the arrival of the king of all media in our area for football, Andy Hake, we give you Donnie Farron, the athletic director of South Range. And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Yokley with you here at Giangelo's. Give it up for them. Proud sponsor of South Range, and we are here for the South Range Raiders show here, the first of the year, kicking everything off from the patio in Giangelo's. Boy, it is toasty. It's not December anymore, buddy.
No, it's nice and warm today.
Someone used to warm weather, used to the links certainly, but has been very, very busy in the off season per se for South Range this year. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one, the only Donnie Farron, athletic director of South Range.
Thanks.
Very popular out here, buddy.
Yeah.
For you, obviously, this is a year that's kind of unique. I mean, you look at what the expectations are for South Range. You guys have a standard, much like the Steelers, that everybody wants to live up to. But there's a lot of rocks being thrown by the media, by other communities, saying South Range across the board is down this year. And I'm going to talk to Dave later in the show about this, but one of the things that I've learned is you never throw rocks at tanks. So for you, what's it like for you to hear that and be confident in the student athletes you have coming up in this community that's always successful?
I mean, it's a nice problem to have when people look at you as being a successful athletic program in all your sports. It is something that is very, very pleasure to hear people say, oh, they're not going to be very good.
It's challenging, right, though?
It's challenging, but it's also a message to our kids that, hey, they don't think you're going to be very good, so go out and do the South Range things, and you'll be fine.
Do you sit there and keep score to yourself a little bit about who's saying what, so that way when the going comes around?
I would never do that.
Yeah, right. For you, I mean, this is a very hectic part of the year. There's so many things going on to start the year. The Hall of Fame, you have all these different things that's going on. How do you, I mean, you don't really have an off season in the summer. You're planning, you're in meetings, you're doing all this with the beginning of the season in mind, and you've got to get ahead of it because it can get away from you pretty quick.
It is. I mean, you are, when you're doing your scheduling, you're a year, 2 years ahead. It's just, finding your league schedules are set, but it is just finding the non-league teams, that we're not going to be very good, but finding non-league teams that want to play you also. That's the toughest part of the job is out of our conference, finding teams that will come in or we go to them and play and try to get multi-year deals so we're not looking every single year. But no, you're right. I mean, the process in the summertime is just fine-tuning things for the fall, and you're already looking for the winter. I mean, fall's done in the spring, winter's done in the fall. So, I mean, it's time. It's busy time right now with just paperwork and minor things that, just are time consuming that are tedious.
I'm interested because you have always seen sports as a business, and you take your job very personally. The turnover in the ranks right now from coaches, and obviously we talk about open enrollment and parents moving their kids in and out of districts and things like that. You have to be ready for it at all costs. I mean, you had to replace coaches seemingly every year, no matter win or loss. For you, how do you keep kind of the consistency that is South Range Athletics, no matter who's at the top of the chart?
A lot of times I would tell you most of the coaches that we do bring in, if we have to replace, that they're South Range people. So, you have a tradition at South Range, you have an expectation at South Range, and people you bring in to coach, you want them to have that same feeling. Yeah. If we can bring South Range people back to South Range to coach that have been successful, then, we feel that, they're going to contribute to that success that we have.
Girls golf, girls cross country, girls basketball, right off the top of my head. What else? Is that it? Is that all the replacements for this year?
Yes, that's all.
So you think about that, only 3 in all the sports that you do across the board. For you, that's something to be proud of because people want to be, and you had resumes coming in from all over to be the leader of any particular team that we just mentioned.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, we have our girls cross country coach, one of our former runners, absolutely phenomenal runners. The family, the Nummergut family was, you talked about distance running, that was the Nummergut family. Coming back to the area, and wanting to be part of our coaching staff. Our golf coach, Mr. Krish, comes from Jackson Milton, was a golf coach there. We got him over. This year, he got the first wins in our actual girls program history.
Oh wow! Hey, give it up, girls!
Yeah,
all right,
Coach Krish with the victories this year. That's huge. I mean, just building off that's going to be great. And then we got Coach Heath coming in. He's been at several places. One of the places, that we try to exclude looking at is he was at, Ohio State. We won't hold that against him. But he's been with Akron Hoban. He's been at Middlefield Cardinal. He's been at a lot of different places that he's going to bring a wealth of knowledge into our program.
The other thing that I've been really particularly impressed with you specifically, is sports now is it's an entertainment business. I mean, you have to keep the fans entertained. You have to keep yourself entertained. Everybody, it's an experience on a Friday night. It's an experience every time someone crosses over into a venue in high school. I mean, the radio, the audio that you guys do, that this is South Range. Like, you were the first to do that in our area. Also, you look at some of the banners that you guys have. you think outside the box. When did you realize that this was more than just coming and playing a game? This was, you had to obviously monetize things, but in the same token, be able to make an impression on everybody that comes to and leaves your ballpark.
Well, I think that if you want people to come back, you have to have that enjoyment. You have to have them wanting to come back to do whatever they found good at that point. You know, you look at it, and I'll say we have one of our tailgaters sitting in the back right now, but, you know, we had a scrimmage, and these guys are set up at 3:30 in the afternoon for a 7 o'clock scrimmage tailgate. And I mean, that's something that our fans, our parents, they love to do, and it adds to the atmosphere of your football game.
Well, they got to knock the rust off too. They got to be ready to go.
I don't know if they ever get rusty, but we'll say that. So,
expectations for this year in general. I'm talking fall, winter, spring. What do you expect from all the athletes, the student athletes, the coaches, and everybody, fans, tailgaters, everybody that walks through and roots for the Burgundy and Gold?
Oh, my expectations are, let's go out and, you know, let's show people what South Range is about.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the biggest thing. Whether we're winning or losing, you always want to win. But if we can go out and be a Raider, show everybody what a Raider means to be, then that's the main thing.
You've gone through some roller coasters, my friend, over the last year or so. This community has certainly had your back, and a lot of other communities have had your back as well. We want to hear it from the horse's mouth. What has it meant to you? And you just said holistically, you know, from your, what has it been like from your seat?
Incredible. I can be tough to deal with from time to time. And just the support I've gotten, it's incredible. I can't thank everybody enough. That's,
you got it.
It's special.
Incredible support for an incredible man. Ladies and gentlemen, the athletic director at South Range High School, give it up for Donnie Farron. We'll be back right after this on YSN. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Giangelo's here on 224 in Boardman. It is the South Range Raider Coaches Show. This time it's volleyball, and we are just blessed, as always, to be with a man who I consider a friend, a mentor, everything in between. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for TJ Irons. You ready to do another one of these?
I think so. Let's do it.
Fifth year. You just reminded me how old I'm getting off the air. What the transition? What's it been like? You've got a full cycle and then another piece of the next generation of South Range Raiders. What's it been like for you, kind of educating yourself as you go about the next evolution of volleyball? Because we've seen it grow leaps and bounds in those 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, the history of South Range volleyball has just been great. If you go back to Coach Baker, going to regionals those years, and so it's been kind of nice just to get back in it. I've had my daughters have been a part of it, so even when I wasn't coaching it, I was still kind of in it, watching them and being a part of it. But the main thing is, it's just the girls are all like so special to me because so many of them I meet when they were in third grade, so I know them, and then they kind of go to middle school and I miss them for a while, and then when they come back and I get to coach them a little bit, it's kind of cool to work with those same girls that you had in the classroom, and now you're working with them on the court, so it's a lot of fun.
See, you say that you meet them and you enjoy being around them in third grade. I hear that you're the ultra recruiter in third grade. That's and
right.
You're letting them know,
That's right.
Come back, Coach Irons needs you.
Yeah, if they're tall, we're definitely talking a lot of volleyball in third grade.
We need all of you. But that has to be a nice feeling, see, because I've never heard, and I'm not saying it because you're sitting here, everybody says you have to get TJ Irons in third grade. He'll change your kid. But you sit there and you make the kid obviously feel good, but you teach them and educate them along the way. How different is your coaching style from your educating style?
I don't think it's a ton different. Obviously, it's when you're working with somebody that much different age, some things have to change. The girls will probably tell you that there's times that I'm maybe a little bit too nice, and I think that's part of being in the South Range thing. But there's also times when you got to get after them a little bit too. I can't say that I get after my third graders very much. I can't remember the last time that I really had to. They're just, third graders are so much fun. But there are times that high school girls just need to be brought back to where we need to be. but they take it so well. I mean, it's a great group to coach right now. They're a lot of fun.
I know a third grader in about a year you're going to have to get after. So, but when it comes to kind of knowing when to push someone and they kick in the butt or a pat on the back, how do you know? Where do you learn that, or is that something you just get the feel of over the course of your coaching career?
Yeah, I think the big thing with that is just communication. We spend a lot of time together in the summer on the court, but we also spend a lot of time off the court. We go to a lot of team camps and different things. We've been to Campbell this summer. We went to Jackson Milton this summer. And when you're doing those things, you're also spending time with kids on the bus. And there are a lot of times where I'm in the front and they're in the back. But whenever I get a chance, if we're on the side and we're not playing, I just try to get to know the girls a little bit. And usually you can tell by the end of that summer, the first summer you're working with somebody, what they're going to respond to better, that pat on the back. And sometimes they need a little bit of both, but you definitely have to learn that for sure.
What are some of the weird things that you've had to subject yourself to being a girls coach? You talk about music and lifestyles and cultures. For you, I'm sure in the front of the bus, you probably hear a lot more than they care to admit.
Yeah, a little bit. No, but we have really good kids at South Range for the most part. I can tell you one of the funny things that always happens is there's a lot of times we walk into the gym and we set our stuff up, and the JV and the varsity go into the locker room, and I hang out there, and I'm up there for the JV warm-up, and then when it's about time for me to go in and talk to the girls in the locker room, if we go to some schools, I don't know where the locker room is. But if I walk around the corner, I get into the hallway where the locker room is, I just listen. And our girls take a speaker to every game, and they have a dance party before every match.
All right.
And I'm not going to say I love every word that they're listening to, but I say if they do it in the locker room, that's kind of their music. When we do it out in the gym, we have to make sure we keep it clean. But I can always find our locker room, and if I go in, and I always knock hard, obviously, but if I go in and they let me a little early, I've seen some crazy dance moves in there. Yeah, it's pretty interesting watching them dance before games, but they have a blast with it. I mean, if you can't have fun playing the sport you're in,
why are you doing it?
Why are you doing it?
What keeps you coming back year after year?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun having that new group to work with every year. And obviously it's the kids. You say it's the kids, but the thing is, like we talk about, and I got to coach with one of the legends in the area when I coached with John Cullen in basketball, and he said every day, and I told the girls this in the summer all the time, every day is like a chemistry lesson, and we're trying to figure out like I know you're really good at this position, but for our team, you're probably better at that position. And I know it's tough, but I think that the challenge of that in volleyball, because there's so many different positions, you have setters that are making sure that they're kind of like the quarterback, they're touching the ball every time. You have defenders that are back there just passing the ball, and then you have the guys up front, girls up front, they get a lot of the prestige because they're hitting the ball. But you've got to figure out who goes where. And that's just a lot of fun. It's a good challenge, and you just love to see how you can kind of set up your pieces to try to compete with those other teams.
You mentioned Coach Cullen, obviously a legend here in this area. Who are some other coaches that have served as mentors to you, and you've kind of taken a piece of their character or a piece of their mentorship, and then you utilize it on an everyday basis?
Yeah. My dad was a coach. He was a football coach and a baseball coach over just outside Toledo, Ohio, and it was Springfield. I have some Springfield stuff on my house, which doesn't really go over too well at South Range, but it's Springfield, Holland, and my dad was a coach, and he's obviously the biggest mentor that I've ever had. And
Sure.
I doesn't matter if it's volleyball, basketball, whatever, after every match, every game, when I get in the car, when I'm leaving school, I call my dad, and we talk. My father-in-law, Tom Titus, another guy who used to coach with Coach Cullen, but also he's coached people on the court, but he's also coached people in business, and he's just such a great, piece of information for me. Just a great guy to talk to, and it doesn't matter. It could be stuff about volleyball, even though he's never coached volleyball. He'll give his opinion, but he can give me stuff about, relationships with people. He's given me advice, obviously, about, being a good dad and things like that. So I think those two for sure. I worked with Dave Pierens a little bit in basketball, and we did a good job working together. Coach McHugh, I worked with him for a lot of years. There's so many that I've worked with. That I've gotten just try to take a little bit as much as I can here and there.
That's unbelievable. All right, we've talked a lot about this part, the front of the bus. Let's talk about the back of that bus and the girls this year and why we think they're going to be so successful.
Yeah, they've just come with a great attitude every day. We have one senior. I feel like I've known her my whole life. Her name's Allie Irons, She's yeah.
Huh.
I feel some reason. I
She
know
spell
her
it
so
different?
well. What's that?
Did she spell it different? Spell it like Pittsburgh, like irons?
She's just a person that, like, if you know Allie, you love Allie.
Yeah.
And I think on our team, you might not walk in the gym and see Allie being the most vocal leader, but I can tell you everybody on our team loves Allie. And Allie loves everybody on our team. So having that leadership right there has just been huge for us. We've been young the past couple years, but we have, we have we're pretty junior heavy. On the outside, we have Anna Toy and Addison Freedy are both juniors on the outside. We have Parker Zwingler setting a little bit, and we have Haley John is DSing for us, and then Lily Weaver is another returning letter winner that's playing middle for us right now, another junior. So between those seniors and juniors, and then we've added in some other sophomores that are kind of working their way in. Natalie Barnett's done a great job for us. Ava Burnett, her cousin's doing a great job playing middle. We have Jordan Hivner playing outside, and then Abby Lensick playing. I mean, we just have a lot of girls that are able to, be a part of it right now, and they all just, like I said, they've been here all summer, so we've been working on that chemistry lesson. And today we had a scrimmage and we played pretty well. So I'm hoping we're going to get it together at the right time.
You're obviously not going to have any trouble finding success. You know what your strengths are. What are going to be your biggest challenges this year?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge, and we talked about it before our first practice, is I think a lot of people are telling us what we're going to be this year. And they're just giving us praise and saying, you're probably expected to win the league this year, or you're probably expected to be really good. You have this young team that's played together for a couple years. But I told the girls, we've really got to focus on not what people are giving us, but what we earn. We got to earn this. Nobody's just going to go give this thing to us. If we want to be in contention for the league, if we want to go win that district championship that's been out of our reach for a couple years here, they're not going to give us that. So we've got to earn it. And I think that's what they've kind of had to take to heart, is that it's not going to be given. We got to earn it.
At the end of the year, we're going to be sitting here looking back. We're going to strip down everything, the record, any, personal accolades. What thing do you hope these girls do together that you can walk away and say, this was a successful season no matter what happened anywhere else?
Yeah. I mean, you hope that they remember everything that we did during the season on the court, but when you played sports, you remember those bus rides and you remember those locker rooms. You hope that you remember all the happy ones, but sometimes you remember the sad ones.
Yeah.
So I guess you just hope that they have that lifelong remembrance. And the nice thing that they have that you and I didn't, you probably had because you're a little younger than me, but I have like some Polaroids. I have like maybe an old VHS tape of when I played. They've got this amazing Instagram page. I don't know if you've seen it, but Coach K, which Coach K should get a shout out here too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome, but she runs our Instagram page. But I think they'll be able to look back in 20 years and see that social media page and say, oh yeah, we did do that day. And I mean, my birthday was yesterday, and we kind of had some fun with that at practice.
Oh.
But I would have never thought to do that. But I think they're going to do that, and like they just love that fun of like, and I love the fact that they're going to be able to remember that, and they'll always have that to look back on.
Belated birthday, you say? You know what we do. So you brought it up.
No, you don't have to do that.
You know what we have to do. Are we ready? Do we have something we can give to Coach Irons? How about a happy birthday? Can we sing happy birthday? Ready? I'll start it, then I'm turning it down. It's just going to be his mic. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Coach Irons. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
There
Thank
it
you.
is. Our first birthday of the year. Only
Thank
77
you.
more to go.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Thank you so much for sitting. It's always a pleasure
Always.
talking with you. And best of luck this season. We're rooting for you. And anything you need, we're here for you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
The late birthday boy, TJ Irons. So there you have it. The first South Range coaches shows of the year are in the books. There you saw Donnie Farron and TJ Irons, the volleyball coach for the Raiders this year, as we waited for our featured guest here. Not that everybody's not a featured guest, but this one moves the needle seemingly every time he's on, because he's one of my dear friends. We can just absolutely take it off script. We can stay on point sometimes. But I will tell you this, one of the most beloved guests on this entire show, and a guy that seemingly takes over the show, the host sometimes, asks his own questions. He walks to the beat of his drum and his drum alone. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, we get to introduce the brand spanking new coach of the Mineral Ridge Rams, the RWO. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the head coach and my dear friend, Mr. Andrew Hake. What's up, Andy? How are you, buddy?
USA, baby! USA!
Home of Hakeomania. Buddy, it's been a minute. It is football season once again. You made sure that you called me and let me know 100% that you are ready to go. You are excited about this season, as you should be, because when you look at the Ridge roster from last year to this year, there is a significant jump in the numbers. Talk to me about how you were able to recruit your own hallways.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. It's a new year, man. It's a new year. It's a new day, brother. No, hey, it has been, I don't know, man. I have been, it has been a wild summer here. We have been going hardcore since the 1st of June. These kids have been very receptive. We've been going 3-4 hours a night, getting in shape, lifting. We went 4 days a week in June, and then gave them off a week in July, the 4th, and then we came back. We've been hitting it ever since. 2 days was 6 in the morning till noon. Last 2 days was yesterday. And we're into the season, man, and the Mineral Ridge football team is ready to rock. We scrimmaged Struthers last week, had a great scrimmage with Struthers. Very physical, and Struthers is a tough team. They've had a great season last year, and they had some leftovers from last year. They were tough. So we got ourselves better last week, and now we're going to play Southern Local today. And just, hey, man, it's great to be back, DJ. I love you, man. Nobody does it better than you, and this is no joke. You have filled the void of delivering the news and giving us sports. Sports was in trouble when the Vindicator and the Tribune closed. I don't know who was going to give us the sports, and you filled that void like never before. And very appreciative of you and your company. And this is it, man. We're in a new year. New year, and Ridge is we're ready to rock. I know the kids are excited to play tonight and excited to go next week into Pie Valley. And I know I've been as nuts as ever, so all's right in the universe, right? All's right in the universe.
So, I mean, you have been doing this. I mean, since you were announced as the new coach of Mineral Ridge, there has been an uptick in the excitement, obviously, around the Rams. And foundationally, I think more kids are playing football than ever before because they want to play for you. You build the excitement around these. I mean, you're a hometown boy, let's face it, and you're a guy that you embrace the community. Even though you were coaching in other places, this is where you started. This is where I saw the pin of the old number 1 in Mineral Ridge. What is it like for you to come home and to be embraced? And obviously there's a different set of challenges and expectations that you have and that the public has for you. But, man, that's got to be exciting, right?
Well, I've always lived in town. Even, I've coached most of my career in Mahoning County in the city of Youngstown, and then I did TCTC a few years, and then I was at Reserve for 11, and to come home and teach and be able to teach here, 7th grade, world history. We're going to talk about the right things in class. We're going to raise kids right here, and then be able to coach this football team. It's an honor. It is an honor. It's a blessing, and I look at it honestly as an opportunity for my family and my civic duty to give back to my community. And I'm a Ram, and I'm going to do everything I can to be good to these kids. And we're going to coach them hard, but we're going to treat them right. And, I walked into a good foundation. Coach Shaner did a good job here getting the kids back going again and getting them out. And hopefully we can build on the traditions here. And, Mineral Ridge Middle Ridge is my home. So, we got a lot of kids that come out. We were able to get, talk to a lot of kids. I quit my job in April to come here and substitute teach at the last of April and May. And I thought we did a good job of getting the kids out. And now we got to go from there. We got to get stronger. We got to become, tougher. And I think these kids have done a lot. Everything I asked them to do. I'm not kidding. I tell the kids all the time here. You would have thought that the way they're working and embracing and treating each other, and you would have thought that this team has been 10-0 the last 4 or 5 years, because they've done everything that I've asked them to do for a standard, to have a standard and to reach that standard. And, the identity of being tough and running the ball and playing good run defense, that's high school football. That's high school football to me. You have to run the ball and stop the run. And if any team that you see that has success in November and December are teams that are able to do that. So that's going to be our identity, and we're going to go from there, man.
PV's your first opponent. You walk into it. It was on a Thursday night. Now it's on a Friday night. For you, that doesn't change anything with the X's and O's.
Yeah.
But PV is a smash mouth football team, the kind of football that you love playing. How are the guys going to be ready for that particular Friday night? In about a week and a day.
We're really excited. Pie Valley, first of all, beat Ridge the first game of the year and the last game of the year last year. And they had a historic season for themselves. They went 9-1 and won some playoff games. And I know that they're coached well. Neil Croston is their head coach. He does a hell of a job with them. And I have a lot of respect for them. It's a great week 1 game. Whoever wins that game is going to get a lot of computer points through the year, because I think both teams are going to win some games. But we're not worrying about any other team on the schedule. I know we play United week 2, Conneaut week 3, and then the league starts. We're not worrying about those schools. We're not talking about United and Conneaut, and then we start with Jackson and the league. We're not worried. Those people will be there. We're not even talking about McDonald, and that's always like, the game here. That's the game. It's great to play McDonald again. I'll tell you that much. But I saw them up there at our scrimmage at Struthers, and I looked up. I said, "Gentlemen, isn't it wonderful to see each other again?" And they almost smiled at me. They almost smirked. I saw a crack in one of their faces. Because they're a great rival game. Right. They're historically always good. So we're just worrying about Pie Valley, and then after that, worry about United, and then after that, worry about Conneaut, and then Michigan will be there week 10. We know they'll be there week 10.
For you, but is there an excitement about being back, not just home, but playing some of those teams that you've gone to war with, wearing a different ball cap?
I have a lot of respect for all those teams. I've played those teams for years. I know this league as good as anybody. And you have to come ready to play every week, and you have to put your best foot forward. I think the advantage that Mineral Ridge might have over some of those schools is numbers. We are able to, talking to Tiger Laverde at Kirtland, what makes Kirtland so good? Well, his best are playing his best every day.
Yeah.
The ones are playing ones. When your number one offense is out there, they're going against the number one defense. And it's a pretty darn good defense. At Mineral Ridge, we have two-way players, but they're 1.5-way players. They're starting on one side of the ball, and then they're playing part-time on the other side of the ball. We have a couple war daddies that have to play both sides of the ball, though. Like Chase Moore, he's as good as any lineman I've seen in the last few years. He's our right tackle. He started 4 years here. He's a Division I football player, lineman. And he's a great kid. Oh, my God, he's almost too nice of a kid. When we play, he's tough, but it's like talking to some guy that's on an NFL contract. He'll tell you when he makes mistakes. Oh, I missed the linebacker on that play. I need to do a better job of this. He's just it's really cool to see guys that are accountable, hold themselves accountable. And I really feel that the seniors have, the word buy-in. They bought in. You know what? They're kids. Kids want to be treated right. They want an opportunity. They want a fair shake. And then you can ride them as hard as you want. And I feel like that anywhere I've ever coached, whether it's inner city kids or it's suburban kids or from the sticks. They want to be treated fair. They want to be coached hard. And then they want to believe in something. And there's nothing better to believe in than our country. So if you make your program about country, about families, about veterans, about the school, about unity, then you're never wrong. It doesn't matter. It's not about right or left. It's about the country. And, we talk about that here, and the kids have embraced that. And I think they came out to be a part of that. And, I'm a wild man in practice. There's times they probably feel like, what the hell am I doing at 6 a.m. up, getting screamed at by this skinny idiot. And it's hard. I find myself like, hey, dude, you got to chill out, man, because. But then I tell the kids, you signed up to play civilian army. You signed up to play civilian war. That it's what this is. Football's the one sport where whoever hits and is violent the longest and doesn't make a mistake usually wins. And the conversation itself is a little unnerving to people. Like, we want to raise good boys. And we want to, but what is the sport about? It's about controlled violence, violent sanity. What's it about? It's about those things. And there's a fine line you got to walk. So, there's a difference between being degrading to kids and then getting on their butts.
Degrading versus motivating, right?
It's truly, there's a line. And I think it takes a teacher and someone that has experience to understand kids and know that line and then don't cross it. And when you do live in the gray a little bit, you have to be able to talk to kids after practice to have them understand why the heck am I being so radical right now and being so crazy. Because why would someone come to practice at 6 a.m. and start hollering and screaming? It's because you're trying to use football to motivate young people to become better citizens, better workers, better countrymen, better students, and one day better fathers. So that's really what it is, and it's a real principled way of approaching things, and that's what we do here. We've got a lot of good guys coaching here. Got a lot of good guys.
I love being kind of tied to the hip with you because everywhere I go, people go, I hear Andy has 60s. I mean, the rumor mill was swirling. I've heard hundreds of kids are showing up at Mineral Ridge practice. For you, that has to be nice to understand that people are believing not only in the community, but what you bring to the community and believing in each other. That's the whole thing for you, is making sure that, to your point, these kids have a foundation of something to believe in, and that's Mineral Ridge as a whole, but specifically football. What are the numbers like for you right now? Do you have can you make an official statement of this is how many kids we have? And what does it mean to you to have that many kids come out when we haven't seen those numbers in years?
I think there were 70 kids 2 days ago. We took the picture. Now, I haven't seen 70 kids in practice yet, but they came out for the picture.
You just get random kids coming out.
Hey, come on out, buddy. There's some kids at the ice cream store, and I just told them to come on down and give them a jersey. No, I think there were 70 kids. You miss a kid every day or two. You know what I mean? We've had 68 kids at most practices. But you know what? My thing is this.
That's the high school level too, right?
But my thing is this. And I really am. I think it's important for kids to be on teams. To be on a team and to learn how to cooperate with other people and take command and be a good teammate, be coachable, be a good worker one day. It correlates to being a good family member, being a good citizen, being a good father. Our country's biggest problem in its country, and politicians don't want to say it because they want to get elected. But if they really address fatherless homes and the lack of male role models in the home, I was raised by an American hero, Russ Binky Hake, and my mother, Judy Hake. They're like American heroes. They were special ed teachers for 35 years. I was raised by wonderful people in a wonderful town. Lou Lowry was my head coach, and Randy Cameron and Ron Toth, Rod Heiss. I had great people that were around me as a young kid, and I was shown what it was to be a good citizen and a good family member, a good teammate. And I just was raised a certain way and you know what? not everything I do and I say is they'd probably embrace, because I'm hardcore with the country, and sometimes you got to watch that teaching young people, because I'm not here to talk about politics. But
Right.
what's wrong with loving your country, and what's wrong with loving veterans? Tell me what's wrong. If there's something wrong
One
with
thing.
it, then I'm wrong. So I just feel that if you talk about, and kids are looking, especially young men, they're looking for leadership, because they don't see it. They're not watching TV and seeing it with these crazy people talking to them. They're not saying, I don't want to get into it, but young men are looking for leaders. And when they see somebody that's brash and not afraid to talk about loving their country and loving and appreciating veterans, and standing up for the flag and standing up for the nation and the values, that I think they're attracted to that, and they want to be around that. And they want to be around people that talk like that. They don't want to be told your country sucks and your people that talk like that. Your police are awful. Who the hell wants us to be around that? Police aren't awful. Police are your first line of defense in order for civilization to continue, and there's not chaos. And when you talk like that and you live like that, I think people say, well, I'm attracted to that. And hopefully we got the kids out. We got all the kids out in town, and they're playing hard. A lot of them are first-year players, and they're learning the ways of the Jedi, so it takes a little bit longer to understand how to use the Force. But we're learning how to use the Force here in Middle Ridge. And hopefully we can unleash the Force on somebody next week. But I will say this, spirits are high, and we're going to come out and play like hell every week. And I will say this, you can't guarantee 10-0, 9-0. You can't do that. That's a liar as a coach. But what you can do is this, you can get your kids ready to play like heck every week and have them come out of that locker room and really make your fan base, their parents, their grandparents, the community proud. And if someone's going to win the Mahoning Valley Athletic Conference, from now on, they have to beat Middle Ridge, because we're going to be a tough out. We're going to play like heck. We're not going to back down. And if you're going to win the league, you have to beat us. I don't know if we can win the league every year. I don't know about that. That's not for me. The kids cast the final vote there. But we're gonna be the team that you have to beat in order to win the league championship. And if you think like that and you go after it like that, then it's big heart, clear mind. You can't lose. You know what I mean?
I love
That's
it.
just what it is.
Dropping absolute gems right now, buddy. I appreciate it.
Hey, look, it's not being. I don't know. It's not being arrogant or cocky, because I
No,
don't know
I
how
didn't say
good we're
that.
going to be. I don't know how good we're going to be, but I know this. I got kids that are seething to play football, seething to represent their parents and their grandparents and their family and their community and their school. Well, what the hell else is there? What else is there? I don't know if there's anything else what else is more important? Maybe your faith, maybe that. Well, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer before we come out too, so I'm going to let you know that too. So I don't know what else is there more important in life. So we have our priorities straight, and the school has really, they got all the kids Axiom helmets, they got them all shoulder pads and new jerseys. They put their money where you put your mouth where your money is. So let's go, and let's play ball. And we could lose. We can lose any game that you don't come out ready to play.
But that's a mentality, right? It's not saying that you're going to necessarily beat everybody and being cocky or arrogant. It's saying, hey, you want this championship, it goes through us.
I mean, what is South Range telling their kids? They lost 22 seniors last year. You think Dave Rock's telling his kids, well, we lost our seniors. The brand changes. The brand does not change. We're going to play like wild animals. We're going to play like a bunch of crazed dogs. And if we have young guys, you got to play crazier. And then we're going to go represent our school and make South Range proud. That's what he's going to do. We're going to take the year off because we lost older guys. No, he has young guys, and they're going to put lipstick on the pig and make it look pretty as much as they can, even though they're young and they need to find themselves. But I saw his film against Mogador already. They're not. Those guys are going to play ball. Uniontown Lake better be ready week 1, and then you got to play Salem and Barberton. Well, as far as I'm concerned, those teams are the dog. They're not the favorite. They're the dog going into that game. because South Range has a brand. They have a standard. We want to have that standard. We want to have a brand that you have to go through Mineral Ridge to win the league championship.
Well, and that's something that you've always believed in. When you win, say nothing. When you lose, say less.
That's
right? It's a
man.
situation.
And worry about yourself. Don't worry about, hey, Springfield's good. Yes, Springfield's good. They've been good. So what's the difference? Hey, McDonald has Zajac and this Casey Miller and these guys back. Well, yeah, they're good. They're coached by a great coach. It's been there for a long time. They have a standard. They have tradition. You know, Pie Valley has been in the playoffs the last few years, and they've been very tough. United, Ogilvy, always coached well. Don't worry about them. Worry about you. Coach your guys to make it mean a lot to you. Encourage them. Jump their asses when it needs it. That's what needs to happen in our country in order for us to be great again. We have to remember who we are, you know, and then once you remember who you are, live it, man. And
Play
then
your brand of football.
Apologize. Don't be apologizing for coaching guys hard. Now, there's that fine line, and you don't want to cross it. You know, coaching guys hard and then making it personal. That's what you don't want to do. And I think by proper communication with kids and coaches and parents, they understand. I'm from here. I'm lucky that I know the parents coming into the situation where they want me to coach their children, and I grew up with them. So it's
you mentioned, you know, see, these kids are going to be playing for obviously the name on the front of the jersey, but there's also a pride for the name on the back of the jersey that they represent, the families they represent. Who are some of those guys that you're leaning on heavily this year that we're going to want to know their names going into next Friday?
Always the seniors, man. It starts with seniors. It starts with 18-year-olds. It starts with Chase Moore. He's a war daddy, right tackle, defensive end. J.J. Sudetic. He's playing center for us. He's a nose guard, defensive end. Kamani Winford Johnson, nose guard, lineman. Alshire, lineman. Culp, lineman. Baylor, lineman. Robinson, lineman. These your seniors. Bingham has to lead us well. He's a quarterback. And then your lineman, Holbrook and Basista, they're running backs, linebackers, and your linemen. It's a game of hitting. It's cute when you're throwing the ball in the summer, and then when the game starts, who's running the ball and stopping the run? That's usually who wins the game and doesn't screw up on special teams. So it's a game of hitting. It's a game of blocking and tackling. It's your seniors and your linemen. And that's just how I grew up. That's how I learned the game. I know it's the right way. And maybe there's a better way. I don't know that way. I just don't know that way. And I know the coaches, the great coaches that I knew growing up, my father, the guys that coached me, you know, the guys that I coach with, you know, Cochran and the guys of Spate and Annarella and, you know, Yeagley. They're going to tell you run the ball and stop the run. If you're a great team, that's what you'll do. So that's what we have to do. And that's the way of the Jedi, bro. That's the way of the Jedi. And that's how you use the Force. And then what I always tell you, man, it's cute to see the dance of the water bug, but the kick of the banshee is what makes the difference. So have the
bestseller on the New York Times list, by the way, that book that came out a few years ago.
Of the Banshee, the kick of the Banshee, the life and times of a Jedi. You know what I mean? And, no, but
we're getting mixed up with the book.
You got to give respect. I'm worried about Southern Local today. Southern Local is a tough team. They lost their coach, right? I think he's a great coach. He's a great coach. I coached against him for years, and whatever situation happened there, I hope the best for him because he's a good man. But I know they're going through a transition right now with Southern Local, and they're going to come in here in a little bit, and we're going to go against them like they stole something from us. And then after that, you know, count our chips and count our soldiers and arrows and get ready to go for Pymatuming Valley. But it's high school football time, DJ. There's no better time. What better time is there, man?
Well, I was going to ask you about a good time that you guys had not too long ago. I mean, I know that you're a guy that wants to showcase greatness above everything else. You talk about your country, you talk about your faith, you talk about families, but you recently had the opportunity to go to Canton to take in the Hall of Fame with, did you say over 100 of your closest friends and Black and Orange supporters? What was that like for you? And, you know, what did you hope to take out of it? And what did you take out of it?
No, it was a great situation. They had the ceremony, NFL induction ceremony. It's in Canton, so we called them and told them, hey, we'd love to come. And they had an outreach program. They're willing to have schools go, so they gave us tickets. And they put us on the floor. I saw they were $250 a ticket. They gave us 110. Took the kids down there. They listened to the ceremony. And the one great thing about all the players who get inducted is they're talking about team. They're selfless. It's selflessness. Who are the people that are in the Hall of Fame? Well, people that went above and beyond, Hall of Famers, go above and beyond, and they're selfless. It's the attribute. If you're going to be a leader, you have to be selfless. And these guys were all leaders in their locker rooms, great players. Jared Allen, Eric Allen, Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp. Those were the four, and they're all selfless. Talked about teammates who coached them when they were younger. It's an overall team. It was a great experience. And then the Hall of Fame said they're going to send a Hall of Famer to one of our games and talk to our kids before the game. So I gave them a short list. They can send Ray Lewis before the big game and let him talk to our kids. Who wouldn't want Ray Lewis getting your kids cranked up before you go out and play a big game? You know what I mean? Like, hey, kids, today Uncle Ray's going to talk to you, and I'm just going to leave the locker room.
Just make sure you count those kids before that speech. That's all I'm saying. I'll leave it there.
How about that? No, they said they're going to send a Hall of Famer here. They gave us all tickets to go to the Hall of Fame afterwards, so we're going to go up there sometime. And, a lot of times if you ask, people say yes. You just got to ask. So, hey, we want to come. And what can we do? Well, here's tickets. And it's like, wow. You know what I mean? You just got to ask. And the kids were well behaved. They took it in, and then we're better for it,
I saw pictures with Johnny Knoxville. How'd that happen?
You know what? I'm not kidding. We're standing there, and I turn. I said, hey, that's Knoxville. Coach says, that's not him. I said, hey, John. He looked over. I said, you're a real jackapple. You know what I said, you're a real jackapple. And he said, oh, my God. I started laughing. He went, started laughing. And then once it was it, all these kids ran over. I got pictures with them. You know what I mean? But he was a funny guy. I said, what made you come here? He said, I love the NFL, man. It's a Hall of Fame. I love the NFL. And he liked Antonio Gates from San Diego.
Yeah.
But he's probably buddies. They're all celebrities. Who knows? But yeah, no, it was a great experience, and it's been a great experience being at home. The community, the administration are all in, and the town's all in. I've been down here this morning since 8, and my 50 people might have come in from town just stopping in saying, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Do you feel ready? Do you feel, I know it comes fast. Do you feel like you're prepared?
I think we're ready to hit someone else. We hit others, and we were hitting them. I think that we've been going at each other since June. And we've been working towards a goal. And I think kids are sick and tired of listening to me, and I think they want to go after somebody. And it's that time. It's that time. And we're going to make mistakes. And to say you're going to go undefeated or 9-1, I think that things have to fall your way to have special things happen like that. But to say we're going to go out there and we're going to really compete, and if we win, we'll probably win by a few scores, and if we lose, it's going to be tight. And I feel like that when you have a great team. I don't know if we're great yet. We could be great. I don't know. We're not great yet. We're not great. No, we're not. But to say we could be great, we could be great. Now, I don't know. They get to cast the final vote in that. And that's the great thing about sports, especially high school sports. The man in the arena gets to cast the final ballot.
I love it, dude. I'm excited to have you back.
You need to come to the game tonight. Come on the sidelines. Let's crank it up, DJ.
Let me see what I could do. Little one's got practice. We'll see.
Big Z, that's right, has practice tonight.
He's got practice. He's part of the Raider gang, and I'm talking about
hey, that's a great game to be a part of. That's a great game.
Silver and black attack in the NEO flag football.
Is that the team he's on?
He's on the Raiders.
Just win, baby. Just win, baby. You know how that goes.
He's the Kenny Stabler of the 7-year-olds.
The snake. Z the snake. There's nothing wrong with that.
I love it. Dude, I'm excited. If I can get out tonight, I absolutely will. But we are all looking forward to next Friday night where you take on PV. And naturally, everything revolves around football once again right here on YSN. Ladies and gentlemen, the tribal chief of the Middle Ridge Rams, Andrew Tiberius Hake. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate you, buddy.
America.
There he goes. The GOAT. Again, love being tied at the hip with that guy. He's one of one, certainly, and he's always fun to hear from and talk to. So thanks to Andy Hake for dropping by and dropping some knowledge and some great gems. I mean, there's some good clips that we can put out there that are I think everybody can take heed to when it comes to being a competitor. Nobody wants to compete more than Andy Hake. So thanks to Andy for dropping by. Thanks to Donnie Farron and TJ Irons for allowing us to talk to them a couple nights ago at Giangelo's. Giangelo's season has started for the South Range Raider Show each Tuesday at 7 p.m. at Giangelo's. Specials going on, and we will, of course, have so many different interviews from coaches, from student athletes, community members, administrators as the season goes on. This, ladies and gentlemen, is all-you-can-eat season when it comes to content on YSN. So make sure you do not miss a minute. Go to ysnlive.com and make sure you're up to date with all the scores on our scores page, as well as standings. We'll have those updated. The great Wizard of Oz himself, Mike Swinehart, will be doing all of that this year. Chris Ziegler is filling up the schedule so all of our announcers can get out there. And don't forget, in case you missed it, we will have the YSN Academy tomorrow night, 6 p.m. right here in Athletics, as well as the next day, Saturday, 11 a.m. at Athletics. Right here, you have the chance to become the voice and the soundtrack of your community and so many other communities around us. We would love for you to be part of our team. For more information, all you need to do is reach out on our social media pages. Tell us that you'd like to register for either the 6 p.m. Friday slot or the 11 a.m. Saturday slot. And if you can't make that, reach out anyway. We'll find some time for you. It just might be a little bit more challenging to get to before the season starts. But those are the two times. Or you can email us, which if you still use email, great. We monitor those as well. It's info. It's info at ysnlive.com. This has been the YSN Live for the 14th of August. Hard to believe we are halfway through the year. But maybe not, because guess what? Everything starts seemingly on Saturday, and then football begins next Thursday right here, a week from today on ysnlive.com. Thanks again, Andy and TJ and Donnie, for stopping by. Thanks to you for making this a great show. And Anthony will be back on Monday. We've got a Friday to get through. It's Free Conversation Friday. Derpy was all over the comments today, so we want to say thank you to Derpy Entertainment for constantly being a supporter of what we do here at YSN. We will see you tomorrow right here at 12 noon, right here on your sports network. YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.